Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
And here's what we know so far. It happened this afternoon at a high school in Barrow County. It's about 40 miles northeast of Atlanta. 2 students and 2 teachers were killed. 9 others are in the hospital. The gunman is identified as a 14-year-old student.
I finally wanted to talk about this situation that happened last week in Georgia with the little young thug that decided to go to school and kill 4 innocent people. So what I'm about to do in this video is I'm about to look at these news clippings and I'm about to break it down on what's going to happen and what you see. Actually, I'm not going to pause. Actually, I'm going to play the video, and after I'm done playing the video, I'm going to give you my thoughts. So let's check it out.
Out of the Georgia school shooting, and we are learning much more now about what happened that morning. The alleged shooter's mom reportedly calling the school with a warning just a half hour before that shooting. And ABC's Faith Abube is in Winder, Georgia this morning. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, Gio. Lots of questions this morning about whether the suspect's mother called the school with an ominous warning the morning of the shooting. This as we're also learning that the suspect allegedly shot 13 people in just over a minute. This morning, new details emerging about the suspect in the Georgia high school shooting from family members and a classmate about what they say happened the morning of the shooting. Colt Grey's aunt telling ABC News details first reported in the Washington Post that the 14-year-old's mother called a school counselor the morning of the shooting to warn them about an extreme emergency. The Post reporting that the suspect's mother texted her sister, saying she told the school counselor to go immediately and find her son to check on him. The 10-minute call apparently came at 9:50 a.m., according to the suspect's aunt, nearly a half hour before the suspect allegedly opened fire.
You don't think like the kid that sits next to you in class is just gonna like shoot up your school one day?
16-year-old Lila Sayarath says the suspect walked out of her class minutes later, appearing back at the classroom door, trying to get back in. Barrow County Sheriff Judge Smith confirming the shooting lasted about a minute. According to authorities, 2 school resource officers then finding the suspect, allegedly holding an AR-15 style rifle.
They ended the carnage at that distance. With what he had and what we had, it was a no-win situation.
Smith says local law enforcement agents quickly arrived at the scene thanks to an emergency alert system the county installed just 1 week earlier. That system, a badge given to each teacher with a button on it like this one. When pushed, it acts like GPS, pinpointing exactly where the emergency is happening in the building.
26 teachers hit that button. It's a school. It's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be a safe place for kids.
And the sheriff says he's not aware of any alleged phone calls to the school warning them before the shooting. The school district declined to comment. In the meantime, though, the suspect was in court on Friday, but did not enter a plea. Janae?
Certainly raising even more questions. Faith, thank you.
That was very chilling and very disturbing. First of all, I want to give my condolences to the 4 human beings that lost their lives senselessly. And I hope that the other 11 people that were injured, I hope that they recover. So the mother allegedly called a school counselor. But when I listened to the whole news segment, at the end, the reporter says that there's no record of her calling the school to talk to the counselor. So did the mother call the counselor on the counselor's cell phone? That remains to be seen. How did the mother know? If the mother knew that her son was angry, or if the mother knew that her son was going to do something crazy, why didn't the mother just call law enforcement from the get-go? And let me play another scenario. If she knew her child was going through something, why did she let him go to school in the first place? Why didn't she say, well, you know what, just stay home? Because most of these times anyway, a lot of parents don't want to be bothered with their kids. They want them kids to go to school. They don't care what them kids is going through sometimes. But it's obvious that his mother knew something was going on, to the fact that she allegedly called a school counselor. So, let's go a step further. Why didn't she call his father? Why didn't his father have the opportunity to intervene in the situation to see if he can talk to his son? Because it's obvious it was something wrong with this child to make this child want to go to school with an assault rifle and go and do bodily harm to people. It just doesn't make sense. Of every time we see these little young kids going to school, killing students, killing teachers, killing innocent people for nothing. And I'm just going to keep it real. You don't see too many black kids going up doing like that. Stuff like that. The only time that I ever seen a black person bring a gun to school as a child and they actually shot the gun at school was when I was in the 6th grade. I never forget it. It was Charles Price, James Godot, twins Terry and Jerry. They walked down past a little lunch area where all the kids sit down and eat. They stand right on the steps, right where the playground was. They all pulled out their revolver pistols and they started shooting in the air. But they wasn't shooting at nobody. They was just shooting in the air, using it as a game. Back then, that was a scary situation for a lot of children that never experienced that type of atmosphere. Because these was little project boys. You know what I'm saying? They was just straight up little young gangsters. But anyway, back to the story. The mom had to know something. The dad had to know something. Or unless this boy just didn't say anything to his parents, and his mother may have found something out. Who knows? But I'm going to get into this other video clip. And this one is saying how the father of the alleged killer, well, we know he killed them, so we can't say alleged, of the killer, young killer, was arrested. So let's get into this clip. Let's check it out.
We do have the director there of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, also the Barrow County Sheriff. Let's listen.
We wanted to come back and update you on the progress of the case this evening. I appreciate you being here. In coordination with the District Attorney Brad Smith, the GBI has arrested Colt Grey, age 54, in connection to the shooting here at Appalachia High School. Colt is Colt Grey's father that was arrested yesterday. He is charged with the following: 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. Mr. Gray, these charges stem from Mr. Gray knowingly allowing his son, Colt, to possess a weapon. This is a very difficult time, as we know, for students and parents, and so many I know of students and parents here in this county and around this state are afraid. You all have likely seen reports of incidents of other students making threats today at various schools around our state. In each of these incidents, police, law enforcement took charges, they made arrests, acted very swiftly, as we take incidents like this very seriously across this state.
All right. So you see, they racked up those charges against his father, Mr. Gray. But they also added child endangerment. And the reason why they added all these charges on there is because, like the GBI officer said, he gave his son the firearm, like most dads do. What dad ain't gonna give their child a firearm out in the country or even out in the city? You know what I'm saying? My dad gave me a 12-gauge shotgun. Not saying that I wanted to go to school and shoot up my school, but my dad gave me, his shotgun. And I kept that shotgun for many, many years. So, here's the thing. The dad is responsible because the dad is the identity on his son's birth certificate. So anytime a birth certificate is signed, like I keep telling people over and over again, this is why they have control of the system, because we have all been signing these contracts and we are all prisoners to these contracts that we sign. That's no excuse for this young man to go and shoot up a school and kill 4 innocent people and wound 11 more people. That wasn't cool. What possessed this child to just get up in the morning and decide that he wanted to go kill somebody? What made that child so angry to the point where he just lost it and he just wanted everybody to pay? Is this what we're going through in American society nowadays? Are we going to keep having these little crazy little white boys go to school and keep shooting up stuff every day? Who going to put a stop to it? They ain't worried about it because they crashing out. They ain't worried about getting no second chance in life. They act like they don't give a damn. So it's obvious they don't care. Because if they cared, they wouldn't keep doing this shit year after year after year after year. Who's putting these kids up to this? Who is getting inside of these kids' brains, making these kids go to their own school and shoot innocent people that did absolutely nothing to them? What is going on in this world? Something's going on in this world. This is just crazy. Luckily, they had the ability to push those little alarm things around their necks to alert law enforcement to come in swiftly and get this young man to lay his weapon down. Had that not been implemented into this particular school system, he could have killed more than 4 people. He could have destroyed more families and more lives. The 4 people that died, their family would never be the same. When those kids' parents got them up for school in the morning, They didn't have no thoughts or no intentions that they were going to lose their child. When those teachers woke up in the morning to go do their job, to go teach, they had no idea that they were going to lose their lives. Their loved ones didn't have no idea that their wife or their husband or their mother or their father was going to die today. They had no idea that this was going to happen. They had no clue. That's because life is always a mystery. You just never know. You can be here today. You can be going tomorrow. You just never know what's going to happen to you. When it's your time, it's just your time. But this is unfortunate for those 4 people to lose their lives this particular time. They didn't deserve to die. They didn't do nothing to this young man. So why was this young man so angry that he wanted to bring a assault weapon to school? We might as well call him a thug too. He ain't no different than the little street homies out there in the hood. What makes him any different? You know, they want to sit up here and tell felons that they can't own a firearm to protect themselves or protect their home or protect any prized possessions that they hold or even protect their family now because they got felonies. But people that don't have felonies, people that haven't got caught committing a crime yet, that could have real bad, crazy psychological effects in their brain, pick up a gun and just go shoot up multiple people, and that's okay. Why? Oh, they had the right to carry that gun because they don't have no criminal record. They have a right to walk around with this automatic weapon, this AR-15, this AK-47, this Draco, and ain't no consequences behind it because they have the right to bear arms. So how can the Constitution be implemented if a felon can still contain their First Amendment right, their Fourth Amendment right, and their Fifth Amendment right, and all the other rights, but they will not let them assist themselves with the Second Amendment? Man, this place is crazy. It's all crazy because you signed the contract. I've signed the contract. Everybody on this planet has signed the contract. Period. This is a tragedy. This is sad, man. This is cold-blooded. You know what I'm saying? What in the evil was this young man thinking? What was going on in his brain that made him want to get up and say, I'm finna kill me some motherfuckers today. I'm finna go all out. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck about my life. I don't give a fuck about my future. I'm crashing out. And then just start shooting people that probably never had a problem with him. Shooting innocent people for nothing. But it's unfortunate for the father. And I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't charge the mother, whether those allegations that she called the counselor is true or not. We shall see. We definitely gonna see about that. But to that young man, I don't know what your problem was, youngster. And usually people would wish bad on you and hope that you get the death penalty and do life in prison. Or you definitely gonna end up doing life. You done threw your whole life away. You were only 14 years old. Don't feel bad. Because there's a lot of people that I grew up in my neighborhood that threw their lives away at 14 years old for killing somebody that looked just like them too. So it's really no different. There's no different from us going out there shooting each other every day. And there's no difference from these little white kids going to the suburban schools and killing their fellow students. This is a violent world that we living in. America created this. America created this violence. America created this destruction. You think these school shootings are going to stop? Do you think these drive-bys and these killings in all of these neighborhoods are going to stop? Do you think it's still not going to be white on white crime, black on black crime, brown on brown crime, yellow on yellow crime? It's just going to keep going on and on. People want to feel sad and sentimental about all of this mess. But you can't. You got to understand one thing about life, America. You guys created this. You guys grew this from the ground up. When you came over here and you started killing these indigenous aboriginal people of the land, people of dark color, brown color, yellow color. Yeah, gotta hold accountability for the actions that are being caused today. And it's just the way of the world. And it's just life. There will always be death. There will always be mass shootings. There will always be destruction in this country. This country is built on bloodshed. Point blank, period. And may God have mercy on his soul. And I'm out. Peace.
Double down.